गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We should have discussed in the morning itself Manu Smriti, but we couldn't do, so we shall discuss today. He says, I don't know, so many days have passed, probably whether we have discussed these things. Samskarada Mahima of samskara. The purpose of samskara is invoking. Samskara is purification. Purification means you manifest the inner power, inner purity. In a way, man has become shrunken from his real nature. So, from his shrunken nature, he has to be expanded into his original nature. Therefore, you have to tap, you have to unravel, open your covered nature. Therefore, the purpose of all our karmas means our rituals and our behavior, service, sense control, study of the Veda, prayers, rituals, invoking the power of devatas. All this is meant to purify the person. Okay, all this is meant to purify the person. Purification means you purify the body level, you purify the prana level, you purify the mind, then Atma becomes pure. Purity is at the level of the body. Body needs discipline, good healthy food, and nutritious and healthy. Nutrition is more sattvic food. Sattvic food, discipline, and all that body. Then the prana has to be purified. Then the mind, mind also, three levels mind is. Mind is emotional purity, then intellectual thinking clarity, then the third one is your inner samskara purification. Samskara means inner what you call the impressions. The world carried samskaras, even karmas also, past karmas, all this has to be purified. Okay, therefore the purpose of samskaras, so he says past samskara, past karma. First he should have a past karma which is suited to this Vedic life. Vedic life means a spiritual life. So the past karma first made him to be born in certain janma, made him to take certain janma. Second is the samskaras which parents do, like jata karma, namakarana and others. And the third is his discipline he has to undergo. Discipline means self-control, service, tapas. Purification, self-control and respect. Okay? Purification, self-control and respect. All these three put together. A brahmachari, I think we have done this. 5 samskaras he talks of. Okay. Where did I put my notebook? It is here. In the beginning, Manu talks of only 5 samskaras. Okay, what are they? Jata karma, namakarana, nishkramana, annaprashana, choda karma. These details, I think, I'm not going to discuss these details. Probably some other time, if necessary, we'll discuss. If we go into those small details, it will take. I talked of, in general, samskaras. Each one is, you can say, turning point. At each turning, person has to be purified and molded, prepared. His orientation has to be prepared for another turning of life, for another stage of life. Another higher stage of life, he has to be prepared and purified. both body level, mind level, prana level, in all these levels. Therefore, this is the purpose of samskara. So, rituals involve faith. So, we need, the person need to have a faith, Shraddha, and Devata Shakti, Devata Anugraha you have to invoke, and then he has to be purified. Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. Purification is at the 3 level. Adi Bhautika level, body, mind has to be purified. Adi Bhautika level. Adi Daivika, Devata Shakti, because each element means each object have 3 aspects in it. One is the physical, another is Adi Daivika, another is inner Adhyatmika. So Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. The 3 aspects have to be purified. In each one, there is an effect of all the 3. Adi Bhautika is a physical. So physical purification means food and others is one thing. And second thing is Devata Anugraha. Devatas are residing in the nature. Devatas are residing in your sense organs, in functioning of each of your body and mind, and in each part of your body. Each part of your sense organs, certain devatas are existing. Like devata is existing in your eyes, in your ear one devata, in your mouth another devata, in your skin charmendriya, organ of touch. Then in each jnanendriya, in 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, and then inner functions, prana functions, there are devatas. So that devata anugraha purifies you and prepares you for higher life. Higher life requires a higher strength, higher tapas, deeper understanding, and you should be able to withhold the power, the strength of it, because higher life requires a higher stress, higher strain. Higher stress, higher strain, we should be able to bear naturally. That is tapas. Tapas makes us, prepares us to be able to bear the inner higher stress, deeper, subtler stress and strain. That's why the person has to be purified. In these things, we invoke the devatas, the devata shakti in our sense organs, in our brain, in our thinking, in our emotional state. Emotional stability is also a strength. Emotional purity, emotional stability. Emotional purity, emotional stability. This is also a great strength. Otherwise, people get easily shaken. Emotional stability, emotional purity. Then intellectual clarity of thinking. That's why in those days, people, when they see the Brahmanas, his life was such that he could bear anything. He could live any life. So that is the tapas. Tapas you have to do gradually live the endurance, the capacity to endure. One has to do that. Emotional stability also. There will be continuous provocations of events, provocations of people around. So we should be able to stand the provocations, not get provoked, and naturally live. So we should be able to act rather than react. Reaction means weakness. A lack of strength is reaction. So even if the other person is angry or intention is clear, he wants to torture us, give trouble to us, so we should take it lightly and remain natural and undisturbed. This requires an emotional stability. Ideological also. Intellectual strength means a clarity of thinking, logical thinking, not having a fixed ideology and others' ideology, to be able to tolerate others' ideology. These are intellectual strength. Not having a fixed ideology, but go by simple facts. I don't subscribe to any fixed ideology. Means I am not conditioned. I am not intellectually stubborn, nor even if others are conditioned by certain ideologies. I take them lightly. I don't get hurt. Like we have got communistic ideology, Islamic ideology, Christian ideology. These are all Asuric ideologies. So with this Asuric ideology, he doesn't get disturbed because he understands wrong is wrong. So intellectual clarity of thinking, not having a fixed ideology but going by a facts, and not getting provoked by others' idea. All these are intellectual powers. See, intellectual powers, emotional stability and strength, intellectual clarity, stability and strength. Then prana. Prana also needs a strength. Prana, you have to cultivate the prana with pranayama, certain life. See, emotional stability contributes to pranic strength also. In fact, the meditation, relaxation, all this produces pranic energy. Prana is not individual purification alone. Identifying the individual prana with a samashti prana. In fact, Brahmana strength consists in pranopasana. You see, in his food there is pranopasana. In his life there is pranopasana. He has to identify his individual prana with samashti prana. Then he can tolerate anything. Bah, that's a great strength. He can live without food, or he can live with a little bit of food. He will be healthy and live for long life, 100 years. So pranic strength and purity, and then bodily strength and purity. That means this aupadik purity and strength contributes to grow out of your body. See, two things are there. You have to purify and strengthen the upadi so that you will be able to transcend the upadi. To be able to transcend the upadi, you need to purify it and strengthen it. People think transcending means ignoring the upadi. Transcending the body, transcending the prana, mind doesn't mean ignoring them. By ignoring, you want to transcend them. You have to purify them, strengthen them, so that purification, strengthening, what does it do? Strengthening and purification doesn't allow the upadis to influence the Atma. Atma can remain detached. Atma can remain detached, not get stuck with the upadi, not get influenced by the upadi. Therefore, purification of upadis is a great tapas. It is done by your behavior, by your conduct, by service to Guru, learning Veda, because Vedic life involves a multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary means sense control, control of mind, respect, Shraddha in Devata, and patience, lot of patience and lot of tolerance, because service is not easy. I tell you, people call service, but I tell you, you start doing service, you will understand it's not easy. You serve a guru, living under a guru, adjusting to his mind and everything. One day you may do it, but continuously doing for days together, your brain, your body cannot tolerate it. It will break. And that too a person who is already highly disciplined person. Sachidanandendra Swamiji, our Swamiji, was such a highly disciplined man, highly a man of self-control. To live under him was impossible even for one day. People would run away, brahmacharis would come and run away unable to stay, because his discipline was so hard. To be able to put up with him requires a lot of hardship. So to live under him develops our strength. So that is why service itself is a great strength. Without grumbling, without complaining, take it naturally and remain undisturbed and do what is to be done. Continuously you have to do what is to be done. Oh, I am tired, I take rest. No rest you have to do continuously. Only resting time alone rest. And some days you have to do fasting also. Fast and also follow all these disciplines, all these tolerance. You have to endure and also. In those days, that brahmachari's life was a highly rigorous, this rigor is coming down. So seeing the discipline Manu has given to Brahmanas, not only Brahmanas, to all castes. So people don't look at the rigor given to, the hardships given to Brahmanas, prescribed for Brahmanas. They look at only Shudras, oh my God, what a rigorous life. In fact, if you compare the rigorous life, the discipline given to Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and also to Shudra, you can feel that Shudras had lot of freedom. In self-control, there was no restriction. They can eat anything, drink anything, do anything. Many things they had freedom. Therefore, in those days, Manu Smriti was considered as giving a lot of freedom to Shudras. Because compared to them, the higher classes had high discipline. Even Vivekananda complains, what a rigid life. And he says, rigid life, suffering. And he says, Vivekananda, just now, last night I was reading Vivekananda's one more book. I keep on reading again and again, number of times, certain pages. The context came and he says, unable to bear the suffering, many people left and became Muslims and Christians, and he says. Because even my childhood I saw very rigorous life. My parents and others who would undergo, what a rigorous life. Even the other Shudras also had a very hard life. Nowadays, very loose life, lot of entertainment, lot of pleasures, indulgences. People have no patience. They can't tolerate a smallest thing. Smallest thing they can't tolerate. Hours together they would do in those days. Whole day, 6 hours, 8 hours they work. After working, go home and again work. Again work, and they have a little bit of rest and go to sleep. Again, as soon as you wake up early, and as soon as you wake up, again start walking. Can the modern fellows live that life? Not only they cannot live, they can't even imagine the life. Therefore, the rigorous life, the discipline gave a lot of discipline. That's why in those days, the quality of Brahmanas of in those days was very high. Even the quality of Shudras were high. Quality of Shudras of in those days can never be compared with present day people. Present day Shudras, why Shudras? Nobody, no caste. No caste has that discipline, that strength, that purity compared to the previous days. When the 50 years ago, you can see them. 50, 70 years ago, the discipline, the strength they have, modern people don't have at all. Because that is a service. And not only service, the faith they have. I am not ill-treated. See, the faith means if Guru gives you order, ask you to suffer, you never complain. You neither complain to the Guru nor complain to others. Nor you think of it yourself. Out of faith, it is good for me, let me tolerate. Whatever the trouble Guruji is giving me, asking me to do, I say it. I take it out of faith. Hey, Guruji told it, it is good for me, let me tolerate. Let me endure. No questioning. Without questioning, they would accept it wholeheartedly. So because these things need a faith. That means, otherwise, what logic can help you to give endurance? Tell me. Can we get an endurance? Can we have a voluntarily take up suffering, that is tapas. Take up voluntary endurance by explaining logically, oh, this will benefit you so much, there were people doing like that, it is very great, you should do it. Just by explaining, giving logically, you won't get endurance. It is not easy to get the endurance by giving logical explanation. Okay? Oh, but our ancestors were doing this very story of our ancestors will give you strength if you identify with them. If we identify with our ancestors, they have done, and we are their children. We are their descendants. Let me live like them. If you identify with them, if you feel proud of them, then you will also get the endurance. Okay? Otherwise, it's not possible. So higher the caste, greater the endurance, greater the degree of tapas. Even simple things, I tell you, if simple, shall I tell you? Somebody at the time of eating food, another person touched, another is a Brahmana only. Person who is serving you food, he touched it. That's all, he quietly gets up, he won't take food that day. My God. These people, will they live? Daily 3 times, 4 times, those who eat and they cannot live without eating. Can you go hungry like that? Just for simple touching? What a Shraddha you require. What amount of Shraddha you require. That this is the discipline given to me. Shastra told me, I follow. You can see the Manu gives a certain prescribed thing. Shastra told me, I follow. It is good for me because it fetches punya for me. Otherwise, I will incur papa. That faith in the Shastra, faith in the Shastra's prescription, faith in the punya, that punya comes to me if I do, if I don't do, I get papa. This thing makes you tolerance. The endurance is tapas. Endurance, it is a different level. See, physical endurance, courage, we call them courage. Physical courage is different. Emotional courage is different. Intellectual courage is different. Physical courage is bearing the heat and cold is a physical courage. See, even in a cold winter, they go and take bath in the cold water daily twice. 1 day is okay, 2 days okay, a bath throughout the winter and throughout life. What an endurance you need it. So it is a physical courage you need it. Not that you develop a trauma. If you develop trauma, it is not a strength. Gradually, the strength has to be developed. Without feeling traumatic, you should be able to take bath, cold water bath in a cold winter. Okay. Then the emotional strength is, even if the person disrespects you, emotionally you are hurt, but don't get disturbed. See, your own father, your own mother, or your own wife and husband or children, they hurt you. Don't feel humiliated. Still they sustain, still they live. That's why these people, small emotional disturbance they can't bear. Divorce immediately they want. We don't care for parents. In those days, how much they humiliated, tortured, insults, still they live them, love them and live with them. Love them and live with them. See, that emotionally highly disturbing, this is called emotional courage and emotional strength. You are emotionally hurt, but you don't feel humiliated. You don't give up the person. You don't, Sita. That's why people are unable to understand when then Rama asked Sita to go away. I am leaving you, Sita. Still, she says, when she goes around the fire, she decides that I'll give up my life if when I'm being rejected, repudiated my husband, I don't want to live my life because my life is for him. I love him, I respect him, I dedicate my life for him, and I have all faith and love and respect for him. When he rejects me, I don't need to live. So she asks Lakshmana to prepare a fire. She goes around the fire, does namaskara and wants to enter into the fire. Do you know what she said told? If my respect, trikarana shuddhi, with my bodily, with my mind and with my intellect, if through all my heart, through my soul and heart, in English they express, in my heart and soul. Heart and soul means, I don't know what to say, that with prana, mind and body. Body, we call it manovakaya karma. Means body, mind and intellect. With all this, I have served him. I loved him. I love him. I respect him. Even when he repudiated, she didn't lose respect for him. See, this requires a strength of love. Strength of love. Even if the other one disrespects me, humiliates me, I don't lose my respect for him. Still I continue to respect. This strength is lost. In fact, people don't understand what this strength is. That's why they find fault with Manu, find fault with Ramayana. Everything is looking wrong. Because we have moved away from that state of mind, that state of life of those days. See the strength, that's why he says, even Vivekananda says, see the strength of character of Sita. Even if she is rejected, She doesn't lose respect for him. With the same tenderness, with the same love for Rama. Rama is in my heart, she says. His feet are in my heart and I love him. I do not, she says, if I have not thought of anybody other than Rama in my life, if I have never lost respect even in an iota of it, I continue to have the same respect, same love, same faith that he is my God, he is everything to me. If I have this respect, let the fire protect me. See, she is taking a vow and entering into the fire and asking the fire to protect me. If I have the same respect, same love, same heart for him, I have not lost respect. See, you try to be in the place of Sita. Modern women cannot imagine even. They just say, we hate Rama, we love Ravana better. See? In fact, if modern woman has been kidnapped by Ravana and she says, I would live better with Ravana rather than, I would be happier, not better. I would be happier to live with Ravana rather than come to Rama. This is what they are talking. Modern women, feminist women are talking like that. Many women I heard talking like this. So because that shows that there is strength of love, the strength of respect, the strength of bhakti, the strength of shraddha, the strength of dharma, the commitment. Strength means the commitment to dharma. All these things they don't understand. See the heart. See, I have not lost even a little bit of respect. I've been having the same respect before. In fact, much more respect because he is everything for me. Otherwise, I don't care for my life. My life is totally surrendered to him. If he rejects me, I'm ready to give up my body. I don't care for my body, my life at all. She wholeheartedly enters into fire. Even the fire could not bear. What a purity, what a dedication, what a sincerity, what a purity of heart of Sita. Even Agni comes, Agni says, I am purified by the touch of Sita. Not that Sita is purified with it. Agni says, I am purified by the touch of Sita. Sita herself is like fire. That's why we would call Sita is like fire. Therefore, and he says, and Agni comes and says, in my capacity as an Agni Devata, Rama, I am ordering you, take back Sita. No word, you can't resist, you can't refuse. You have I am not giving you any chance to talk about it. Why you are giving up? Why I am not asking the question. I am not asking for the explanation. I am ordering you, take back Sita. That's all. Even the Devata has to come and order because Sita is pure. You have no thought, you don't give room to second thought and or no explanation what society thinks. Leave her, so take her back. This is the strength Manu talked of. The discipline, the strength. People cannot understand unless they have. It is not that in those days parents were partly caring, but sometimes parents also gave trouble. Not that parents did not give trouble to their children. Not that the children did not give trouble to parents, but they endured. They endured because enduring for sake of children is their tapas. In bringing up the children, whatever suffering they had was a great tapas. And whatever trouble parents gave, Guru gave, they took it as a part of. Shastra says, hey, if Guru and parents don't give, who else will give you trouble? And the trouble, whatever the parents give you, Guru gives you, that is a blessing for you. This is how we were taught. Whatever trouble parents give you, even they chide you, beat you, make you go hungry, all that is. And sometimes, I don't remember what mistake I did it, when we cry in the night, father would open the door and throw me out of the door in the night, totally dark, there is no light in those days, no current, etc. and close the door. I remain crying outside the door. Outside the door on the street, I would remain crying in the cold. I didn't know. I don't remember what I did. I was just too small boy. What mistake I committed. So, therefore, Shastra says it is a tapas. That means you don't lose respect for them. You continue to have the same emotional love and respect and faith in them. So this suffering, my one of our Akhandananda Swamiji, that Brindavan Swamiji, one of my gurus, so he would tell, these days, modern days, people have no shraddha for guru, and if a guru points out your mistake, they feel emotionally hurt, because their prestige, they feel that you are hurting me, you are insulting me if guru points out. And you know what they say, modern people, ye kya guru hai, mera dosh dikhata hai. They would complain like that. What guru is it? He is finding fault with me. He is finding fault with me, he is insulting me. Ye kya guru hai? And you know, saying this, he says, if guru doesn't find fault with, who will find fault with you? If guru does it, people say that if guru finds fault with me, guru abuses me, guru beats me, guru gives punishment to me, it is a blessing. If guru punishes you, it is a blessing. It is for my own goodness. That was the strength of faith. Nowadays, people do not have. That means we are not brought up that way. Too much of individualism. What makes Kali Yuga? Too much of individualism. Too much of prestige. My ego. Freedom. Freedom means what? I do what I like. Why should I endure for sake of others? Who are there to order me? Who are there to control me? That's why when Dasharatha gave words to Kaikeyi, and Rama takes it upon himself and goes away to forest. Does he ever say, who is he to give me, to send me to forest? Who is he to give promise to Kaikeyi on my behalf? He never complained. 14 years, not one day, 2 days. Hard life in the forest. So that is the tapas. That is the tapas. Tapas is the way of life. Therefore, higher caste. Compared to the Shudra, Vaishyas have got higher tapas. Compared to Vaishya, Kshatriya has higher tapas. Compared to Kshatriya, Brahmana has the highest tapas. That's why he is respected, because higher. Why Janma is higher? Why do you call Janma is higher? Because you have a greater level of endurance. Greater level of endurance of fasting, humiliation, suffering. The suffering level is higher. The capacity to endure is high. That comes due to your Purvajanma karma. If Purvajanma karma, you are prepared for the tapas, prepared for the suffering of Brahmana, then you will be born as a Brahmana. Otherwise, see, that's why those who cannot live Brahmana life, means those who cannot live that endurance, you go for comfort, you go for indulgence, pleasures, comfort, etc., you fall. When you go for pleasure, when you go for comfort, you fall. Fall means you come to a lower level. Nowadays, you fall, the very word of patana, patati, he falls from Brahmanatma. They say it is an insult to me. Why do you say that? I do whatever I like. That itself shows you lack endurance. You can't obey Shastra Ajna, Guru's Ajna, parental Ajna, the order of parents, order of Guru, order of Shastra. The disobedient mind refuses to obey. That's an ego. People say my self-respect. All that is nonsense. There is no self-respect, it is only ego. Real self-respect is much deeper. What people call self-respect these days is nothing but ego. They say, oh, my self-respect. See, he's insulting me. This is my life and I live as I like. My body, my will, my freedom. So this too much of individualism makes you disobedient, egoistic, more disobedient, more intolerant, more unenduring, inability to endure. Tapas will be less. When tapas is less, then all other qualities will be less. The real strength of human life is faith and endurance. Okay? Faith, endurance makes you large-hearted. That means you transcend your individual body, mind and intellect. You become little large-hearted. Okay? In those days, see the Shakuntalas. She knows who her parents were. But they left the small baby, gave birth and left it in the forest and went away. In those days, even if they leave the children on the streets, the children, once they come to know that we are orphans, neglected, ignored, and then thrown out by our parents, they will not lose respect, because parents are gods for me. They gave me birth. That itself is a great blessing to me. Great blessing to me. So there must be some situation, some difficulty for them, because of which they were unable to tend me, unable to care for me, so they had to leave me. It is due to my papa karma that my parents left me out. My parents did not care for me. Parents gave me up. Because of my past karma, I never lose respect my parents. My dude, because I committed some papa, therefore I could not afford the care and love of my parents. You never abuse, you never disrespect parents. See, this is the attitude, these were the feelings and thoughts of those days. Therefore, people are moving away from our Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Smriti, etc. Because of the people say asserting ego is so much that we feel this earlier life was very bad for us. And they say these are not real, nobody lived like this, these are all false stories they must have written, or lot of torturing they call them, or false stories they call them. Ramayana, Mahabharata might be imaginary story, nobody lives like that. Who can live like that? This way our people are thinking these days. It requires a moral strength, moral courage, emotional courage, intellectual courage. Intellectual courage means even if you are intellectually, your idea goes wrong, still you should be able to tolerate it. If you are defeated intellectually, don't feel defeated. Intellectually, if you are defeated, your idea is defeated, your argument is defeated, still have the strength. Moral strength. Without losing respect, Sita questions Rama's behavior. Don't you know? Even while questioning Rama, she didn't lose respect for him. See the moral strength of Sita. She says, you know me right from my childhood, right from the day of my marriage, what kind of person I am, how I am dedicated, my character, my personality, my love for you, my respect for you, my dedication for you, my service for you. You have seen me. In spite of seeing, you are suspecting me that somebody kidnapped and kept there for a year or so, for maybe 6 or 8 months or around 1 year. and that too, and then if I become unfit to be your wife, I would not have come here. If I feel that I have been violated, my chastity violated in any manner, I would have committed suicide. I would not have come to you. So when I came to you, I came with the same heart, with the same purity. He is questioning. Rama had no answer. When she asked all these questions, Rama didn't answer. But even then, she didn't lose respect. Same respect, same love, same dedication for her. Goes and tells in front of the fire. He says, if I had never lost respect for him, he is my God in my heart. I loved him, I respected him, served him. Oh fire, you protect me. What can fire God say? Is there anything left for fire to say? Oh my God, the God of fire says that I have no words to say. I feel blessed by you, by your touch. Fire says, I have been blessed by your very touch of your feet. I am blessed. Fire has to come in human form and say to Rama that take her back. You can't refuse. See, that is the strength. This Vivekananda likes this character, this strength so much. I think our Puranic characters, he praises. In praising, I think he'll forget himself. You can see his writings, these things. He loved our Puranic characters, a great strength. Because that was the strength. And this is the tapas. This is the tapas we need. Losing temper, getting provoked is easy. Therefore, we need a physical suffering, that is also tapas. Pranamaya level. If the disease comes in our days, I tell you, I would develop. Each time I cut my cut my nails. Each time I cut my nails, I don't know, we used to have once in a month the barber would come and cut it. My school teacher say, no, you should not wait for 1 month, cut it every week. Cut the nails every week, where will we go? Barber has to come and cut it. We don't keep blades and etc. Somewhere with a bit of difficulty we got blade, our father kept it. But the blade was a fresh blade. Nobody told us how to handle it. Each time I cut the hair, I think it cuts a little bit into my skin and I develop a vitlu infection. Many times I had infection, no medicine. They would apply something at home, some chunna and etc. Home remedy. I tell you, for 1 week and 10 days it will not go. Shooting pain. In the class I should sit with the shooting pain. I have to listen to the talks. I have to do my homework. After coming home, take bath, and eat food with all my pain. Go to sleep, in the sleep also it would give me shooting pain. It would cry, I would do for 1 week, 10 days. And my father would say, disease comes, but will it go easily? Coming is easy, but won't go, it takes time. Abba, when will it go? You have to go, very painful, and no medicine, you have to live like that. Live like that, no medicine. They'll apply some superficial medicine. We have to tolerate, Abba. But it is not once, again and again it would come to me. Again and again it would come to me. I don't know where I am going wrong. After I grew up, I understood this was mistake. The blade was the mistake. Probably the blade was not clean, or what happened, I didn't know. I would develop that. The teachers, I say, whenever barber comes, we would do that. He says, no, you have to do it. These school teachers are also problematic fellows. They create more problems than understanding. This modern education creates more problem to us rather than understanding. Traditionally, when the barber comes and get it, and we cut he himself cuts, because we have no instruments to cut. In those days, nowadays everybody has nail cutters at home. We didn't have anything. The barber would have his own thing, one particular, what you call a kind of a blade, and he would cut it. Maybe 20 days or 1 month. Once a 20 days or 1 month he would come and do it. Until then we won't do it, we leave them. We generally keep clean, again and again keep, but he says no, every week, even little bit comes, teacher would warn you, otherwise he would try to beat you. Where will we go? Blades we don't know how to handle, it's very dangerous. And there were no nail cutters at all. So, the degree of endurance was high. All that, why we are unable to endure these days? Because we lack dharma buddhi. It is a shastra taught me, dharma prescribed. I am supposed to tolerate, I am supposed to endure these things. Faith in shastra, faith in punya papa. And this is my dharma, I am supposed to follow. If I don't do, what else I do? Comfort is easy. See, having comforts and luxuries is easy. Live a comfortable life, but you have no endurance at all. So, it was a life, it was a tapas. You can see, so as you start Manusmriti, you should be aware that right from beginning, the rigorous life Manu gives, the very reading it, people feel what a difficult life, it is very hard life. This is all ridiculous. So, they'll give up, they won't read continuously. They won't continue reading at all. But not only reading, that was a lifestyle, normal lifestyle. In our ashramas, Gurukula also we live like that. Normal lifestyle. We have to keep serving. Okay. Therefore he says, one is past karma. Second is that the mantra rupa samskara, namakarana, jatakarma, chodakarana, ityadi upanayana. These are the devata shakti you invoke. Invoke devata shakti and plant in you. Plant means sow in you. You invoke it and put it on you, place in you, so that all your body, sense organs, mind gets strengthened. That means devatas sit in you. You invoke devatas and and then make them sit in your body and sense organs. So therefore, it is some surrender to Devatas. They will look after you and you feel that you are part of Devatas. If you misbehave, the Devata of that part leaves you. Devata in your part, therefore, behave well. If you utter a wrong word, if you use an abusive word, your tongue becomes impure. You won't be able to chant Veda mantras. That's why a person who chants Veda mantra should never use an abusive word, dirty word, vulgar words. Never use them. Because if you use them, your tongue becomes dirty, you have to purify and do extra tapas, and then only you should be able to do Veda mantras. So each sense organ also should be used like that, purified. So Adidaivika Devata Mantra Shakti, one Purvajanma Punya, Purvajanma Karma, that's why you are born in a particular Varna. Then the duty, Dharma of this life, these three put together, Mahayajnaischa Brahmi Yang Kriyate Tanuhu. I think if I remember correctly, this was the shloka I was reading. Mahayajnaischa Brahmi Yang Kriyate Tanuhu. Yeah. Your body, your mind, your sense organ becomes Brahmi, fit for Brahmajnana. By this kind of life, it is prepared to become Brahma. Then the Namakarana, I don't remember whether I talked of Namakarana. Namakarana also, I think everything needs to be explained these days. People have gone away, moved away from our cultural outlook and understanding. Nama gives you an identity. Name gives you an identity. You are of this Varna and your duty is this, and you follow these things and don't follow other things. Once we know this so and so Varna, we know his discipline, his values, etc. That's why when a person comes to him, what is he? You ask him, oh, he is a teacher. That means these are the things he follows. He is a Brahmana, means we know what he likes, what he eats, where he sits, what kind of seat we offer, what kind of things we offer, water and everything we know clearly. Because that is his discipline, that is his life. That's why from the name you understand he is so and so. That means his lifestyle, his dharma, his duties, everything we come to know. Therefore, name gives you certain identity, certain dharmas for you. So that how to relate to him, in what aspect we have to approach him, we will come to know. Otherwise, anybody is anybody. You ask him these days, who are you? He tells his name. Then what do you do? I work here, that's all. You don't know what is he what he eats, what he wears, where he sits. You can't imagine anything. Everything you have to ask again. Do you take this thing? Do you sit here? Do you sit on the chair, sit on the ground? Or do you this thing? Everything you have to ask. In those days, once you say you are a Brahmana, then we know everything. All the things are, we don't have to tell any other details. Brahmana means it is enough. So the name gives you certain identity. Accordingly, we can relate to him easily. Okay. That's why Namakarana gives you certain identity. If nameless person means identityless person. Or if you have a wrong name, also your wrong identity, confused person. Confused person. A person without a name or with a wrong name. With a wrong name, his identity is confused. When identity is confused, what am I supposed to do? Where will I go? What is my goal of life? It is all confused. It really happened once. Somebody was telling, one psychologist, when I talked to her, a girl was an Indian. Her parents took her to America. And then she says, each time she tries to do lives like Americans, she says, hey, we are Indians, don't do that. Hey, we are Indians, don't do that. Now, her identity is Indian, but there she has to live in America with an American context, American situation. She didn't come to India, and she has to live in American society with an Indian identity. Long before, not now, maybe 30 years ago. It was always confusion. So, if you don't have a clear identity, what you are, what language you speak, what you respect, what are your family, how you relate to your parents, what are your gods, what are your religion, what is your religion, all that goes with certain identity. So this identity defines you, your life, your goals, your end, certain things, it gives you a clear picture. Otherwise, you don't know what to do. Whether this is right or that is right. whether I should live like Americans or live like Indian. She got confused. That then the psychologist, when he discussed, ultimately she got disturbed. Then they brought her to a psychologist. When she tried to talk to her, and under what ultimately what she diagnosed is the identity crisis. Identity is confused. Identity should be clear. Name gives you an identity. Okay, that identity gives you a clear direction to your life. Anyway, each one we have to discuss many things. Therefore, I don't want to discuss this many details. Probably you understand them. So, the names are given. And the name also in the society. The name inspires you, your goal. Brahmana has certain name. Brahmanasya Sharma. Sharma means you are supposed to be relaxed and peaceful. Endurance, tapas is your goal. Sharma means peace. Be always peaceful. Don't be aggressive, ambitious. That is not your goal of life. If a person with an ambition, can he live as a Brahmana? Brahmana life looks like more mechanical and routine. It doesn't look external achievement, external expansion. It is an inner growth and inner depth alone, not external expansion. A Kshatriya has got a Veera, Parakrama, external expansion, achievement and all that. So that name gives you what kind of goals you have. Accordingly, you work for those goals. That's why with a Kshatriya is supposed to have Kshatriya spirit, because that name inspires him. Hey, I am a Kshatriya. I am supposed to do like that. These are my goals. For this I have to work for. You have to invoke certain character in you, and certain character you have to reject from you. It's because you have to live a life of a Kshatriya. Anything, even a sannyasi, become sannyasi, then your name sannyasi means that these are the values for you. You feel proud of them, you identify with them, live for them. And if you unable to live them, feel ashamed that, oh, I am unable to live as a sannyasi. So people say, no problem, Swamiji, it doesn't matter, we'll give you comfort. You give comfort, but my conscience doesn't permit me, I cannot do that. So you may give me comfortable life, I'm not supposed to have comfortable life. So that questions me, my conscience questions me. I have to live a simple life only. They say, we'll spend for you. We are not supposed to allow a grihastha to spend unnecessarily a lot of money on us. We have to have a very minimum possible. Very minimum. Only if it is inevitable, spend. Otherwise, don't allow the grihasthas to spend on you. Have just a simple life, simple things alone. So, just giving an example of anything. So, Brahmana, Kshatriya. Anyway, Shudra also, he has to be a servant. He has to work hard. He has to do service. He has to be humble, obedient. The discipline, the values, and the discipline of life, all that he has to follow. Therefore, he has to have a name which inspires the lifestyle, the values which he is going to live. Therefore, accordingly, the name is given to him. Otherwise, you have a name something and your life is something else, it won't go with it. Therefore, the naming also should be there like that. Okay. Nishkarmanam, Mannaprashanam, etc. Certain things he says. Okay, Choda Karma. Then he says Upanayana. Just now I talked a little bit of it. I think I'll conclude with this, already nearing 1 hour. So Garbhashtame Shabde Kurvita Brahmanasya Upanayanam. So Brahmana, just a few minutes. So Brahmana, Upanayanam should be done in an early age, at the age of 8 alone. Because he has to enter into Brahmacharya life very early and for a long time. Because Brahmana is getting prepared to be Guru for all castes, for all Varnas. Therefore, he has to undergo more discipline, more purity, more Shastra Jnana. Therefore, right from early age of 8 alone, his discipline starts. Therefore, he has to start his discipline much early. Therefore, at the age of 8 alone, his Upanayana begins. And other people can have little later also. Kshatriya, he says, and he gives the time. Ashodashat Brahmanasya Savitri Nati Vartate. At the age of 8, he should start. And he should not delay beyond 12 years. Beyond 12, he can't go. At least maximum by 12, he should undergo Upanayana. And then Kshatriya also, certain starting age is given and the Salpa maximum age also. Then Vaishya still more is given. Okay. Ashtavimshat Kshatra Bandor. Therefore, if more time is given for Upanayana, so very late, that means he has not lived Brahmacharya life much. Say, one who enters Gurukula early, he has a longer life of Gurukula. Has a chance to live a longer life, therefore early life. So all this is there. Savitri, so that he will have a more, service to Guru, and then Devata, Agnihotra, he does it. Not Agnihotra, it is a Samidadanam, we call Agni Karyam. And thereafter, then Indriya Nigraha, then Gayatri Mantra, he has got a chance to live a longer life of Gayatri Mantra and all. Savitri Patitavratya Bhavatyarya Vigarhita. If he doesn't undergo all this tapas, then he will be Vigarhita, means people look down upon him. He has not lived sufficiently his Brahmana life. He has not gained sufficient purity, sufficient strength, sufficient tapas. So he will be looked down upon as a Brahmana. Among his own Brahmana people will look down upon him, will not give him, will not call him for higher work. They will give you food, but will not call you for higher work, any ritualistic work, any important work. They won't admit him because you have not developed sufficient strength for you. Okay. Naitaira putair vidivada padyapihi karechi. Therefore, even apat kala also should not give up. Brahmajnainam sambandhan acharet brahmana saha. Even in apat kala should not give up his discipline. He must follow whatever with the difficulty. You should not, without giving up routine, these difficulties, you should follow all these tapas. Okay. Then next comes certain things he uses, yajnopavita, and then what you call that danda and etc. They are all symbolic things. So yajnopavita, danda, and certain ajina, dandajinadaraha. Brahmachari is supposed to use. Nowadays we have them, what you call them, badge and uniform and etc. But badge and uniform only indicates your school, doesn't give you any values. So in those days, that Brahmachari uses certain symbols, certain badges. These badges imply certain values, certain discipline. Okay. Nowadays, uniform is uniform just to show. It is unnecessarily spending a lot of money and doesn't imply any value, any discipline in it. Does uniform imply any discipline, any value? Nothing. It is only just to show that you all belong to the same school, therefore they give you. So we have some certain insignias, that means a certain symbols, we have them, badges, and those things we will discuss next class. Afterwards, then bhiksha. Bhiksha is very important because it gives you a lot of control. Control upon your stomach and control on your tongue. Control on stomach and tongue. This is also a great tapasapa. Control on tongue, control on, we'll tell you one or two stories in Mahabharata. Probably you know them. In the beginning only comes that Uttanka and others. In connection with Bhiksha, I think I'll tell you in the next class, very interesting things. Okay, certain achamana and other things. I am not telling shloka by shloka, otherwise it will take a long time. I am telling the principle behind each of them. The shloka and word meaning you have in the book itself, you can read them. I'll give you the basic principle behind and go ahead. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namah. Harihi Om Tat Sat. I was unable to do in the morning because I am in Bangalore now, Bangalore Ashrama. So Bangalore Ashrama at the same time, mornings, 11 o'clock, 11 to 12, I have got other classes. People come here. So therefore we have to shift it to evening. I think again in one of the days again I shall announce, and then we will have most probably one more session within the week alone. We don't have to wait for until next Saturday. In one of the days I shall have. Tomorrow, day after, another 2 days I shall announce. We will have another session also. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namah. Harihi Om Tat Sat.